Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? This is Jos. Today I'm going to do a trade recap of Friday. Price action was really clean, and I was able to catch the trade at the bottom and catch it all the way back here. I just held the trade for about 15 minutes, and I made 17K. So here we go. So when we go to a daily time frame for Friday, we had some sort of a downward movement, upward movement, and then we got into this bearish fair value gap, and we flushed the price down and got the swing low for the sell side. And after that, it made an SMT with ES. So ES took lower low, whereas NQ did not. I'll show you the ES chart. So ES here, you see how ES took this lower low, and for NQ we did not. So we have an SMT here. So this was telling me that okay, you may want to be bullish, at least to the fair value gap, at least to this bearish fair value gap. I wanted to long. So that's an important price point to note. So I'm gonna note it as daily fair value gap low, and then this is high. So this was my final TP, and I'll tell you later why I didn't hold until daily fair value gap low. All right. We are gonna go to open for 9:30 open. When we go to 9:30 open, we just flush the price down to the recent low, right here. So when we go back to the 15-minute chart, you see we had this minor swing low that got flushed down as soon as the market opened. And I wanted to go long, so I thought about going long here, but I wanted to wait until I have some sort of a confirmation. And then you see here we have like some sort of a V-shape recovery. I think some some influencers or gurus, they teach you once you take a lower, like some sort of a liquidity, and then take a V-shape recovery, you would like enter on this fair value gap, but you probably would have lost money. But anyways, so I wanted to wait for a confirmation, and here comes 9:40. We kind of fake the long again, making people to go long at this point, or maybe somewhere around here, and we flush those long holders, and then we take out London high, London low. Because I was so bullish, once it took London low, I was really confident in this trade, so I entered longs here, somewhere around here with 5 micro contracts. First aiming at this 930 high. 930 highs or lows, they are great liquidity draw. So that was my original first target, and then once I entered here, so I took about, I actually took one off here on this fair value gap. So once we tapped into this fair value gap, I took one contract off. So I had 4 contracts left, and then in my live stream, I called out this fair value gap layered with this order block, right? And this is a great entry, because once we tapped into this fair value gap, we have 15-minute FMC reversal. That's my entry model that has over 80% win rate. So once we take lower low, and then once this higher high or this 15-minute high is taken, that's when we enter. But or that's a sign for me to enter. And once this 15-minute is taken out, you can enter at any of the fair value gaps or order blocks. Yeah. All right, and so this is a great entry model right here. This is fair value gap layered with order block, and we also have breaker here. So we took low, high, lower, low. So this 1 minute candle, this is a bullish breaker. So since I entered at, my entry was really nice, I didn't need to re-enter. But if I didn't enter, I would have entered on once this high is taken, and then once we flush down into breaker, this would have been my entry, and then another entry would have been this order block. And another entry, if I missed that, this would have been my last entry, would have been this VIB right here. We have a 1 minute VIB. So this would have been my another entry model or entry setup that I could have taken. So I call this breaker and order block with fair value gap in my live trade, and I know one of my students took that and he made a bank. Once we have this breaker, we can do a standard deviation, so you can target -2, -3, -4, -5, and finally -6. So -6 standard deviation, that gets layered with my daily fair value gap low final TP. So this was my final TP. Either if we hit -6 or tap into the daily fair value gap. Daily fair value gap is my my stronger draw though. And once we broke this high, broke this fair value gap, broke through it, blasted through, so that's another good sign of price action telling me that whoever shorted here are going to be trapped. So once we push up, we don't come back until we take 930 high. And once we took 930 out, I've already made $2,000 on my prop firm account. At that point, I didn't need to trade anymore because it would have went over my consistency rule. I was in this trade about 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes, and I was basically done for the day. And then I closed my computer and came back to see my draw was met. So this was a tricky part though. So if you aim for 930 out, if you did not take partials here, you might have been stopped out when we had this fake movement down. So this is another reminder that partials are great. So this is today's Sunday, and we have Monday market open waiting for us tomorrow. But this new week opening gap is going to act as a draw or magnet throughout the sessions. So it's important to mark these out. I'm not sure if the whole new week opening gap is going to be filled, but I do expect we are going to touch the midpoint of new week opening gap, at least for NQ or ES. So you want to pay attention to both charts and mark them on. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you later. And make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my Instagram if you haven't.